All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. And I'm going to spend the next few minutes showing you the final steps towards getting the car completed enough to pass inspection. Once it's inspected, I can get the tags for the car and I can be out on the road, which has been my goal since it arrived in my shop in the second week of January. All right, that's next here in the Shade Tree Garage. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today I finally got the wiring set up and connected for my license plate illumination on the bumper guards on the back of my wagon. And it's taken me a little bit of time. I bought replacement lenses and sockets and the whole fixtures. The originals, after 70 years, were pretty rusty. One of them just about crumbled when I took it out, and the other one was just real rusty. But I ended up still using the lens and the fixture that the bulb snaps in. Also, what I've been working on in preparation for getting the car on the road, I have been getting my, well, it won't all fit on the frame, but spray painting the garnish moldings. This is the garnish molding for the driver's side rear window, fixed window. And the trim came to me in this, in gray primer. Now, it's in pretty good shape. And so all I had to do was scuff it with some Scotch-Brite and, tack ragged it off, blew the dust off, and shot it with some of the, it's not Krylon, it's a Rust-Oleum 2X or whatever it's called, some black gloss. And let me tell you, that stuff covers very well. And you can see it's got really good gloss. I'm tickled to death with it. I've got this one ready to go back in the car. If we get this over, and I've got the passenger door, and I've got the passenger door garnish molding painted. It's got the new fuzzy track on the other side, the bottom side that you can't see on the left here. It looks fine. 2 coats of gloss black, buddy, and it covered wonderfully. Now, there's a little bit of what looks like dry spray on the left part. The left part you see is the window ledge, where you'd prop your arm up if you're a passenger, your right arm. I may just let it go, or I may just come back later and sand the dryness out of it and just give it another coat. But man, this stuff is excellent. I love this paint. It's the best spray paint I think I've ever used. Now, I'd also had a can of that primer too from Rust-Oleum, and I had to use that on my couple of spots on my garnish moldings, and that stuff is excellent too for rattle can primer and paint. Man, it really is good stuff. I'm very impressed. Let's go over to the Chevy, and I'll show you one of the last touches I put on my windshield wipers. All right, guys, there they are, the windshield wipers. These are brand new windshield wipers, and I can't remember who the vendor is, but the original style with the hook at the end. And the windshield wipers are the original, are 12-inch as from the factory. However, they use a different attachment system. And on my previous video, the attachment system they use, their modification that's required, if you have the original wiper arms, you have to flatten the hook out of it. And I will tell you, after buying brand new windshield wiper arms, and then I had to take them over to the vise, flatten them, and then beat them straight. It's just hard to spend that money on brand new stainless steel wiper arms just to beat the crap out of them. So they'll work with the shiny new stainless steel wiper blades. But I did it, and I'm happy because they look great and they work fine. No complaints here. All right, that's the windshield wiper transmission. Everything's mounted, but what's missing? Well, I'll tell you what's missing. This piece of chrome. Well, chrome plated pot metal. It will not seat in there far enough to allow you to put the nut right there to tighten it up. Now, I was bumfuzzled. I had this brand new piece of chrome, and I couldn't get it to fit either side. Well, I believe the problem is the trim here. There is the trim, it doesn't go back far enough. It's not a tightly mounted against the gasket. So I think at some point in the future, I'm going to have to remove this trim and remount it so it's a closer fit. Because I can put this on and push, and I can almost get a thread exposed here from this transmission. So it just needs to go back a little more. Until that happens, I can't put it on, but it really doesn't affect operation. And unless you're a Tri-5 geek like I am, you probably won't even notice it. But I do, and it bugs me. All right, let's go on to the back of the car. All right, guys, I don't have a backlight set up here, but I pulled this tail light in order to find voltage for the license plate lights. So now I'm going to have to run the wiring. Actually, I'll unplug it here and run it down where it comes out the bottom of the quarter panel, and then I'm going to have to tuck it up under the bumper. Both lights work really well. The light in this bumper cover was a major issue. Now on the other side, I can show you that in a minute. The trim, this piece of chrome, this trim ring, doesn't fit properly with the brand new socket and lens on the driver's side. And I'm not sure why, except I think the ears that mount here underneath this trim ring are thicker, and it pushes this. This trim ring won't fit flush on the new socket and lens the way it's supposed to over here on this side. So on this side, I kept the original lens and the original mount that's in there, and then I put the new bulb and the new socket and snapped it in place. Now, and that, as you can see, that fits perfectly as it should. However, the problem I had was that the socket, of course, the socket was brand new, but the lens and the mount that it's attached to was rusty, had 70 years of rust. And because these lights only don't have a separate ground wire, they get the ground through the chassis. Well, when everything is rusty as hell, it doesn't conduct electricity well. So I had everything assembled. The driver's side worked great. This side was dead, D-E-A-D, dead. So I had to take the fixture out and with a wire brush on a drill. And so I cleaned 70 years of rust and corrosion off of the mounting area, because it had to make a good electrical connection between the socket, then the fixture, and the bumper guard. If it couldn't get a good ground through there, the bulb would never light. And so after I had to remove the corrosion from the surface of the behind this chrome, and then all over anywhere that socket and the fixture connected with the metal of the bumper guard. And it took a little bit of work to to remove enough rust to get a solid connection. Finally, I did get it though. And so I've got the wiring. The new wiring comes with a pigtail wiring of about I don't know, probably 18 inches on each new bulb socket, which is fine. So I had to connect. All right, this wire right here connects the driver's side socket with the passenger side socket, and then I use one of these little T's to connect the wiring up to the tail light wiring up here. Let me show you if I can. All right, I don't know if you could see it in the dark or not. This little blue connector, it's one of those T taps. So there's two wires that go into the tail light. One is brake light, and the other one is parking light. I used my meter, and I figured out which one was parking light, And so I tapped into that line and connected it with with these two lights down here in the bumper guards. And they work. They work fine. So and also found, and I didn't expect this, there's a bulb that's wired somewhere in the backup lights. So I need to find out where that's at, and where that wiring goes, because it's a simple matter to wire your backup lights up to your T5 transmission. The T5 transmission has a built-in switch, and there's a socket on the transmission on the passenger side up near the front towards the motor. And I could take these, I could find, if I can locate where the wiring goes, I could take it up to the transmission by that special 2-pin socket and add some DC, of course, and I can have working backup lights, which on my Chevy I had 40 some years ago, I never had working backup lights. In fact, there was no bulb or socket in my backup lights. So I was surprised to pull this light and find out, hey, this thing had at one time operating backup lights. So anyway, I'm going to mount this back in and put the trim back on it. And then the only thing I've got left to do is to stow this wiring. And so I'll wait and do that tomorrow in better daylight, and move my carpet pad back here and crawl around and figure out where everything needs to tie in. It works, and works well. Now, another thing I'm probably going to work on this weekend. Let me back up here a little bit and I'll show you. All right. The 55's tailgate is missing this trim, this emblem here. And I have one. I bought one for it. There's a lot of debate over what size goes there. And I bought the 55 trunk emblem, and with the chrome ring, of course, trim, and it fits. I just don't have it on yet. Now, and I was wondering how the hell you get back in here, put that in. Well, you have to take the back of the latch off. You lay the tailgate down. You remove the latch mechanism, and then there's enough room there to get your hand down in to get the speed nuts started. And so I'm looking forward to getting that back on. I think that completes the car in my book. Now, something else, this car did not have the V8 emblems under the taillights because it was a factory 6-cylinder car. But I would like to add them at some point. I'd also like to add the paint divider at the rear of the spears on both quarter panels. So anyway, we'll see. And it didn't have, of course, it wasn't two-tone. And these wagons weren't, I've seen several wagons today, in these days, pictures of them with the paint divider, but they're not using the paint divider for a two-tone. It's just they like the look of it, and I do too. So anyway, that's a future project. I've got other things to work on, like door panels and carpet and seat belts, of course. All right, well, that's going to do it for this update. I've got the work cut out for me this weekend. And then Monday, I'm going to make a phone call to the sheriff's office and schedule my inspection. And brother, I can't wait. Now, several weeks ago, I ordered the personalized plate that's going to be unique. And now, 40 years ago, the personalized plate I had on my Chevy for years was one bad 55. Well, let's see, in about my wife and I were married in 85, late 85. In about 86 or 7, I dropped the registration on my Chevy because I didn't have time. I was going to school, went back to school. Somebody else snapped up one bad 55 after that. For years, I've checked to see if it's available. Whoever has it has been keeping it all these years. But my new plate will say bad 55. So hopefully that plate will be in next week by when I get the registration ready to hook up. And we'll be on the road. Even once I get the tags on it, there may be, the law of Murphy's Law of old cars. There's always problems coming. You just don't know what they are and when you'll discover it. The car road, I've only driven it once, and that was from the seller's house to my house, about 20 miles. And the car did okay, but I'm curious to really give this thing a shakedown cruise, to quote Jay Ferguson. And if you know who Jay Ferguson is or was, then you're as old as I am. Anyway, the shakedown cruise is just, you know, see what else is wrong. Mechanically, I think it should be okay. If not, there'll be more to take care of. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. And I've got to get this tail light put together. And tomorrow I'll come back and put my stow my wiring. Now, something else I would like to do, I need to clean this up. It's got overspray from past paint jobs on it. I would like to buy a new one with a key. Now, there may be a way for me to modify the tumbler in this one and make it work with my key. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and that's going to be it for now. I may update a few days from now, when hopefully I have my tag in hand and I'm legal to put her on the road. All right, well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon. And have a great night from the Shade Tree Garage.